How do you beat current domination in NBA 2K23? That's what we're diving into today. So you can see we have 54 to 99 stars on it, and I finally started to track back and figure out how domination is working. And I even have like a money player too that you can kind of use if you want to, although it all depends on if you need it. So we're just gonna kind of go through general teams and strategies that you should be using to have success, I guess we'll say, in current domination. So this is the current team that we're running, maybe looking a little bit unorthodox with the bench, especially I kind of changed it up here and there, had some fun with it, but the bench is really kind of just not as important. We really get a lot of work out of the starters, and more specifically Steph Curry. What you really want to do, I think, to succeed in domination is get a really good, like, one crucial guy who moves well and you really know his jumper and you can just get it down and get it easy. And for me, that's Steph. I mean, I've played 3 games with Steph and I'm averaging 34 points per game with Steph in 12 minutes. So you can kind of see that, yeah, we're getting used to it with Steph. I only have 1 assist as well because this guy is just absolutely crazy. And he has Hall of Fame catch and shoot. 15 gold badges, a lot of them cover everything like Deadeye, guard up. He has gold limitless range as well, which is super nice. Mismatch, needle threader, and even has some really nice silver badges as well. But just an all-around great card. This guy is about 19k. It did cost a decent bit to actually go ahead and pick them up, so be wary of that. But there also are guys like Jimmy Butler. He has a slower release a little bit than Steph, but it's still pretty money. John Morant has a pretty fast release as well, just not as consistent. Devin Booker, the Sapphire, is also a really good option to just use if you have him on there. Steve Kerr's a free card that works well. So is Cantina Mobley. A lot of really good options, but at least have one pretty crucial, pretty good amethyst. Now, when it comes to everything else, obviously none of this matters, but for coaching, you're gonna want to pick a nice coach that definitely works. For me, what's worked a lot better is using something like a defensive coach. It just kind of works a little bit better. You can see it boosts up just all around defense, consistency, lateral quickness, things like that. And rebounding with a lot of the big men, which I've noticed, like, I was running perimeter centric for a while and it was really hard to kind of get some of those boards. So just, think about it. And then for the playbook, I'm running the Nets playbook. There's quick through STS is back and it actually works pretty well in 2K23 here. So I'm running the Nets playbook, but there's also some money plays in other playbooks. Warriors last year was really good. I know some people are using the Mavericks playbook right now and actually having a lot of success with it. So at least like think about it. I'm gonna check some of those out, but I'll show you guys what I'm using with the Nets playbook. And then aside from having 1 or 2 really good, really consistent shooters that you have in your team, what I would kind of recommend is just have a lot of really good defenders, rebounders, stuff like that for the rest of the guys, which is why we have Jimmy Butler. He fits that like 3-point ability in the defense also really well for us. We have Scottie Barnes, who's just a great all-around card. I got lucky, pulled him from my promo packs, which is really cool. 6'8", Florida State, and he's literally just good at everything, and I kind of just like those jack of all trades kind of cards. Giannis is just a great all-around guy to have as your power forward because he has great defense. He's a great slasher. He can even run the ball a little bit if you want him to. And Joel Embiid, I'm kind of like evoing him up, but he's also a pretty good paint defender as well. Ja is just kind of my spark off the bench, along with Devin Booker and Cameron Johnson. These 3 right here, Booker, Cameron Johnson, and PJ Tucker, just have really nice releases that are relatively quick, that I just kind of got down. So it's a trio that I kind of use off my bench to get buckets whenever Steph isn't taking over the game. And then we just got Shaq to kind of hold it down. So that's the first part. The second part that you're gonna want to do is you can actually head over to this coaching section and go to coach game plan like you would in my league, my GM, anything like that. And you can actually change your defensive settings right here without going into the game, which is awesome because now I don't need to load into a game to show you guys all the settings, although we're doing it. So you can see these are the general settings that I've been running the last few games that has really started working well for me. For the on-ball pressure, I'm running Smother. A lot of these cards run around a lot of screens. There's a lot of plays that happen. If you go against those higher rated ones where Curry is just running around, you need to smother that guy. And then off-ball pressure being tight just because contests are a little bit iffy sometimes, so staying as tight to your defenders you can is awesome. Force direction, I just have this on automatic. I don't think it's really a big deal. And then I've been running on-ball screen and for normal and for center, both to go over. Just because I'd rather get killed inside than on the 3-point line, especially after going against guys like Tatum and KD who were just killing me out there. So we're going to go over on those screens, and then we're not hedging on both of these. We're staying attached, and the rest I kind of just leave on all automatic or manual, aside from this one down here on transition defense where I turned this to no threes. Now there's going to be certain aspects where you're going against certain cards, like maybe let's say Rudy Gobert, where you do not need to have a tight on-ball pressure or off-ball pressure. So when you're actually in the game, you can kind of change what you're going to do for him specifically. But these are kind of like the general ones. So let's actually hop into what we're going to do when we're actually in the game and some offensive settings, because you can't actually save those. All right, here we are in the actual game, all loaded up, looking nice. Love the graphics right now. And as you can see, we go to defensive settings and it's all set. It's all ready for us. But all you need to do, you can see you can hit L1 or R1. I'm not quite sure what it is on Xbox, but you just move over to the next page. You can see you can actually change matchups, stuff like that, if you really, really care and want to get specific on who can and can't shoot. Like, for example, Derek Favors. He's not a shooter. He's got a C- on the midi. So we can probably leave them on the off-ball pressure, and the on-ball, we can just set this to moderate. We don't need to be on Derek Favors that crazy. Bill Russell, Kareem, guys like that. You really don't have to play up on them, so that's what you would do with those kind of guys. And then for offensive settings, there's a few different things that people do. Sadly, you can't control any of these, and you can't actually save offensive settings. Big step up being able to save defensive settings, but offensive settings are just as important. So what we do first is obviously there's quick isolation, which you probably want to save just in case. But the play that usually works for me is right here, quick through STS. If you guys remember from back then, you can see the PG's running around and he's kind of the one that has the ball in his hands. Whoever you want to score, you select the quick through STS play, then you hit triangle or Y on Xbox, and then you just select whoever you want to be the primary person scoring. And that's really it. It's a super simple play, and I'll kind of show you guys what's going on with it. And then for the freelance, the ones that I've kind of only tested are Hawks, Clippers, and Bucks 2018. I've kind of just had success with Bucks, so that's the one that I'm using right here. And then for the coaching settings, I prefer to leave the timeout, player minutes, and substitution on manual, and I like to turn the adaptive coaching engine off personally. And if you want to see the play vision, you can turn the offensive play vision to user plays only, play vision display to full, play calling messages to show all. And then offensive and defensive play call, you can put those both on manual. And I also like to do team communication on offense and defense, and you'll kind of see why. There'll be little bubbles that pop up above your players' heads that tell you what the AIs are going to do, and it's actually pretty helpful when you're actually out there. And that's why we are playing Gap and leave them on Derek Favors, because he has a 44-3. So all around not bad. So once this game kind of starts off and you get your general bearings, for defense, it's kind of the same that you've always done. You kind of just off ball and just hope that the players that are going to miss. Like for this example, we kind of can just use Joel Embiid as a roaming contest man because Derek Favors isn't exactly like a threat. So we can kind of make sure we're pressing up on Shea, getting those contests, and then getting boards. And then on offense, we just want to make sure that that Bucks 2018 freelance is selected, and you're just going to kind of run over, hold R2, hit right on the stick, and then right after it, hit down on your left stick, and then boom. You just get the nice snatchback that you got last year. You just hold R2, hit right on the, hit left on the right stick, and then down on the left stick, and boom, it's super easy. So I guess we'll just move it over. I'll let Darius Baisley shoot, just get on to our next one. So all you're going to do is run down with Steph out here. You're going to hold R2, hit over, and then hit down, just like that. Super simple move. And then if you're just good, and that's why you want to get good with the release, because once you kind of got it down, you can just kind of start cheesing around threes and just do super simple stuff. But it's actually really easy. Now, most of these games you have to win by 15, so you do want to make sure that you're keeping the score up, I guess, for you, making sure you're holding a lot of these guys to not scoring too much. For things like the OKC Thunder, where there's not too many good players, it's usually not too bad. For some of the other ones, it can be a little bit more daunting, I guess we'll say. And then just for the quick through STS play, all you have to do is go to the play calling section, which is just hitting left, and then hit wherever a quick through STS is. You'll just stand here and you can see the play vision will pop up right here. We pass it to Jimmy Butler, and then all that happens is Curry will just run down. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. If it doesn't, you can always just kind of default to a Steph Curry 3 or anything of the sort. What I personally prefer to do is pick a slasher for that quick through STS play. It's just better. John Morant kind of works, so I'll skip over and I'll show you when it actually works. All right, so here we are. We have in the hands of Jimmy Butler, and we switch it so Jimmy is the guy that's going to actually be doing it here. So we're just going to step up, give it to Steph. We'll hold it with Steph, and then Jimmy's kind of just going to run down, give him a little spin. Josh Giddey, where you going? And now we're at the basket. We're getting a shooting foul. I've done this a few times with Steph whenever, you know, the threes are getting shut down, although it's not often. And as long as you time your free throws relatively well, you'll be all right. There's some other plays in like the Mavericks playbook that you can kind of use and have some fun with. I know Bio2K had a great video on his Mavericks playbook if you guys want to check that out. But around it's not too bad. If you just do this method with the Steph Curry threes and get a really consistent guy, even like Terry Rozier, once you get that Evo up, it is so simple and so easy. And if you guys want to see the later version of Domination, just stay tuned. Or if you don't want to do it at all, check out the sponsor of today's video, the grinding service by Rose NBA. The ad's coming up probably right now. So like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. If you need level 40, unlimited, limited, clutch time, domination, triple threat, or anything else on your 2K account grinded, contact Rose NBA on Twitter and let them know X sent you.